And you're ready.
It's going.
Right, hello, I'm Fliss from Ulterior Motives. We're here with Mesh.
Right, I'm Mark.
And I'm Rich.
Excellent. So, last time we spoke was in August 2012. What's happened since then?
Well, we've managed to finish our album, which obviously we were working on at the time, I think, when we last spoke. And that was released in March. It's done really well. It's gone into the German charts, top 40, so we're really pleased with that. And now here we are on our tour for the same album.
In Manchester.
In Manchester, yes. Automation Baby is an amazing album. What makes you most proud of it?
Finishing it. No, I don't know. I think our aim is always to better the album we previously put out, and I think we've done it really. We worked really hard on it. Wrote some really good songs, or what we thought was good songs, and spent a lot of time with the kind of intricate kind of production side of things. And we're really pleased.
Really pleased with the songwriting and the production and the whole package has come together. The artwork's been.
This is going in our hall. We have an Cool, excellent. The whole album is amazing, but my favourite song from Automation Baby is Just Leave Us Alone. What's the story behind it?
It's kind of, I guess it's kind of written around almost kind of the scene that we're in. The guys that sort of come to the shows and stuff, and sometimes you get the feeling they're, I don't know, like a bit on their own, doing their own kind of thing, and it's kind of written around that really. Just I don't know. A lot of people seem to be on the front, kind of quite strange, and they're very sensitive and very, it's almost written kind of for the fans that sort of follow us around. Really. So that's just generally the gist of it. Really.
Cool, excellent. Which song from Automation Baby is the one that really sticks in your mind as the one that you really like?
For me, I guess it's that one. Just Leave Us Alone. Take It For Granted is another one that I really like. And You Couldn't See This Coming, which is the last track, kind of ballad. Those are my favourites.
It's difficult really, because I think
at the moment
everybody's got different opinions, and I think there's quite a lot to choose from on the album that I'm really pleased with. I mean, even with Born to Light, when we actually first put that together, we just instantly knew that was going to be like a single. It was just such a standout track, not necessarily being the standout track of like the best song, but the most kind of instant. It's kind of a bit of an earworm. As soon as you heard it, you knew it was what it was, and so I think that was another standout track from the album as well. So
it's one of those ones I like them all at the moment, which is very unusual. I don't usually like them all. Or you've got kind of bad memories about some of them making them. It's not necessarily how it came out in the end, but if you struggled with something or you found something that didn't quite come out the way you wanted. But I think with this time, I can't really think about anything that I don't like on the album.
I think it's a general consensus that everybody seems to really like it. I mean, you always get somebody who's sort of, I'm not sure about this one, but as we've been going round, meeting fans, everybody's just saying it's the best thing ever, and you just quite taken aback by that. I think it's a really nice comment from somebody to say that they love everything about it. So that's really cool.
I think it's a really, really, really good album. I mean, I've had it for review, and it's just, there's not a bad thing on there. It's all really good, and
there we go. It's like the best comment you can pay us. So thanks for that.
That's all right. You play your final venue tomorrow in London. What has been the high points and low points of this tour so far?
I think the whole tour has been really successful. There's a lot of new people coming in as well, we've noticed. And we've had some really, really good shows. We've had some small shows as well, but they've been good at the same time. We did a small show in Strasbourg. Newcastle last night was a bit of a struggle, not because of the audience, but because of the venue.
Right.
I suppose one of the Frankfurt was extremely good, Leipzig was extremely good, Hamburg was extremely good. I'm hoping tonight's going to be really good as well. Manchester, London, it's nice. Bristol was good. Bristol was fun
as well. Even the first show of the kind of tour was like, it was pretty much sold out. It was just
Bristol was the most stressful one because you had all the family there.
Family and friends.
It was a completely different look when you look out on the audience and you know there's people that in your family and stuff like that, and it completely stresses you out. I don't know why. It's ridiculous, really. But Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there weren't really any low points. I mean, it's Strasbourg was disappointing, but I mean, it's France. We're not really very well known there. It was a lovely venue. Bristol's a highlight. Yeah, it's all been good. It's all been good. Yesterday was strange. That's what I would say. but we had a laugh. It's just the venue was a bit just hard work, really.
Get those things.
Yeah, every now and again you get. I mean,
you live and learn.
You just got to get. Well, you don't learn.
No,
you never learn.
That's true.
Just get on with it and do it again next time. Yeah.
What's it like on tour? People only see when you actually play, but what is it like for you guys? Really, is it tough on you?
Well, we got a team of guys that we've used for years and years. Probably over 10 years now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just like a little family going on tour. We kind of meet up and everyone just gets on with it straight away.
And it really is like that. That sounds kind of really twee to say, we're a family, but I think we are. We kind of really look out for each other, and you know when somebody's having a stressful day and you leave them alone, and it's just a case of kind of knowing the characters on board, really. And
but basically, we sort of get up at, I don't know, about 12 o'clock, go to bed about 4, something like that, get up at 12, roll out, scavenge around for something to eat, and then you spend the rest of the day just doing nothing, basically, until sound check, which is kind of, soon.
And it's funny because my wives, I should imagine all wives and girlfriends, all they see is the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
And great time, all everybody's having photos taken and smiling and having a great time and brilliant.
And that's true.
It's a little bit true, but it's like that's just a snapshot of the day. The rest of the day is doing this crap. You sit around and you kind of sound checking and trying to do some technical things and maybe writing an interview and stuff like that. So it's
a lot of hanging around to do.
It's a lot of work as well. It's not all kind of pleasurable.
I can't say that it isn't fun, but it is. It is fun. But it's a real thing that you've got so much time on your hands, but you can't get on with anything.
Yeah.
You can't concentrate on anything really. I mean, I tried doing some writing and got one bit of music done. I've been on the road for two and a half weeks. it's pathetic, really. It's quite funny, but yeah, it's just kind of hanging around really, and then doing the show, and then it's a build up all day long. Just get more and more agitated all day. You do the show and it's real relaxed, and then you've got to do it all again. So it's sort of up, down, like that all day long, all week long. It's strange. Yeah, it's fun. I recommend it. So that's fun.
Excellent. For you, what is the one thing that makes a great show for Mesh?
The audience, without a doubt. I think you can tell. Like, certain shows we've done, you literally walk on stage and you think this is going to be good. You can sense it. The kind of anticipation and just the kind of the response you get from walking on stage. You sort of almost think, they're behind you and they're rooting for you from the start. And then you do other shows where you kind of feel like, okay, we've got to try and work this audience and try and get them going. So
because it can be awkward. So I mean, if the venue's full up, it's fine because everyone feeds off each other and it's kind of it escalates. But when there's not so many people, we feel awkward and they feel awkward, and you've got to kind of bridge that gap somehow. So that can be quite hard. But it usually works out okay. Like I said, we do the same show regardless. Whatever.
And it's regional as well. We've always noticed that. It depends where you go. You get a different response from different audiences. Like sometimes, like the London audience is quite cool. It's like come on, an entertainment kind of attitude, and then you might go somewhere else and they're right up for a good party and have a good time. So, but I think they all enjoy it. It's just the way people are and whether. It does have an effect on us.
You see people at the front and you think, oh Christ, they're having a miserable time. and then you meet them later on. And you meet them later on. They said that's the best thing I've ever seen. It's so odd. But there's always a couple. You think, what have they been taped to the railings or something? Why are they there? Is it a bet or something? But I don't know. They're enjoying it in their own way. It's very odd. Yeah.
And no technical issues as well. That's a very big distraction for us. So if you have technical issues on stage, I think that's a bit of you sort of start losing the focus on trying to entertain the audience and start trying to kind of put things right. So
sort of wires like that.
Yeah, there is.
Do you find that you alter your set list for each venue or each country that you play? Is there certain things that are popular in one place that aren't popular in another?
We have been changing things around, just more for flow than anything else. Sometimes you sort of place and you think it's going to be a good order, and then and then something happens in the middle of the set and you think, oh, that didn't really work. It's strange if you just change them around a bit. Sometimes we do, yeah, I mean, we certainly would for festivals and things like that. We do short shows. You've got to kind of throw all these singles
It's like
in
a
there.
best of sort of thing.
For this one, it's more of a advertisement for the album, really. So, so we've done a lot. We've done a lot of tracks off the new album for this one. But yeah, sometimes it's not regional so much. We haven't put in not prepared or something, whatever. We've done, old track or something like that, just because we get complaints all the time. Get play this, get play that. Run it.
Can you?
Oh, no,
just running. Yeah,
we big back catalogue. It gets harder and harder to release album you put out.
It does get difficult, and certain ones we've played quite a lot. Kind of in touring, sort of between the albums, we've played those quite a lot. So we've kind of dropped and done some different mixes of all the stuff. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting set. Really.
Cool. There have been a few bands who are struggling at the moment. What do you feel that can be done to help?
What, financially, you mean? Or just
in any way, I mean, in general, what I'm seeing is, the bigger record labels are sort of like really taking the artists for a ride, and you've got these things like crowdfunding and stuff like that now, and Kickstarter campaigns.
Yeah.
And to me, it shows that, it puts a lot more of the musical control back with the bands.
Yeah.
But a lot of bands are struggling. Do you feel there's anything else that could be done, really?
I mean, the biggest problem at the moment is sales. The physical sale is difficult. You're caught in a kind of trap, really, where you put things out on the web for promotion, but the fact that you put them there takes away the things that earn you the money.
Yeah.
So it's almost you have to kind of almost forget about record sales now, and there has to be another way of funding it, whether it's shows or merchandise or things that people can only get physically. Pretty much we fund these tours out of t-shirts and things like that.
Yeah.
But, it is hard. It's hard for everyone, and we're probably more successful now than we've ever been. Yet financially, it's more difficult than ever.
Yeah.
We can fund something like this. This is extremely expensive to do something like this, and it's really, we've got a hardcore following that come along, regardless. But record sales are just odd.
I don't think there's any shortcuts, is there? If you're a new band, I think you just got to do it. You just got to try and get out there and get your name established. However, I don't know how that is nowadays.
I think you can generate a buzz with the internet, but the trouble is you can do that, but that doesn't actually make you any money.
Yeah.
You could have 10 million hits or something, and it wouldn't generate you any cash.
Yeah.
The only way that you can do that is to sell physical records. Now the thing is, when you get these things that go out of control, that's all it is. There's somebody looking at YouTube, or there's no money involved there, and how you turn that into money is very difficult. Based on one viral song, can you actually go out on the road and do it? Because ultimately, it's the only way you can earn any money.
It's a bit like this campaign we've just done now. We put the single out, we've done a video, and we thought, right, put it out, we'll put the video up on YouTube and on Facebook, and it just went completely ballistic, went mad. It was just like, whoa, this is really good. Everybody was sharing it. But as physical sales, it wasn't particularly great. I don't think it really entered the charts. But the upshot of that, we kept the album back, we kept that really quiet.
Yeah.
And I think the anticipation for that album, because of that first single, was greater. And of course, everybody rushed out and bought the album, and that was great. It's gone in the charts, and it's been brilliant. So I think it's like a bit of a cat and mouse game. You can use it to your advantage, but don't give away too much, because like Mark said, you don't make any money from it. So we put out a great single, and probably not many people have heard all the other mixes on there because they haven't bought it. They've just using it on YouTube and Spotify and all these kind of free things, and
it's like download. Even downloads for not illegal downloads. Legal downloads don't get much money. Not when you download the album, you don't get a great deal. You get the physical CD, you're making money on the physical pressing. With the electronic thing, you don't get much really. It's just, I don't even know what it is on an album, but it's not a lot. A single track. This is one of the problems: is people don't buy albums anymore. They can get the single track. off the album without actually buying the album.
Yeah.
So they can, listen to it, and they might like two tracks on the album, so they just download the 2 track. But the physical CD that we made for the album has been selling very well. So we did things like the limited edition ones with some pieces in there, and then a single in there, kind of stickers and badges and stuff like that. Things like that help, but then again they're expensive to make. I think
it's just tough.
Nobody seems to know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. We've spoken to everybody. I mean, this always comes up all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the same situation. Nobody really knows what to do.
I mean, I think they'll find something eventually, but I just think we're in this period where nobody knows what's going on and how to control it and how to make money from it.
I mean, in Germany, it seems that vinyl's making a comeback.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Some of the shops.
A lot of the shops are stocking vinyl because the artwork's big, it's physical. Whether kids want vinyl, I don't know. I mean, I've got a feeling eventually everyone will get bored of this downloading thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit sort of faceless and a bit sort of sterile, isn't it? And
the thing with vinyl is that it's as the music is. If it's a live, recording, and you play a bum note, that's on there.
Yeah,
Whereas a CD will, it's like digital. It'll pick up that bum note and correct it, so it's then more perfect. But vinyl's more raw sound.
And I think everybody, the way they was talking about it in Germany is that it was very, very popular. But all they do is say you're into some band and they put out their CD, and you think, great, I'll buy that. That's the copy I'll listen to.
Yeah.
But wow, look at this! I want to own this, and you would buy the vinyl just for literally putting in your collection, probably not ever play it. But that would add. They said it could be as much as 4 or 5 places in the charts because you bought it twice now. You know what I mean? So that's why everybody seems to be doing it, and you just couldn't believe it. You just walk in these huge like Saturns and Media Marks or whatever they're called, and there'd be massive sections of vinyl, and it's almost like a replicating what's on the CD section on the opposite side, and it's just like, whoa, this doesn't happen in the UK, but perhaps it will. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's in the same boat at the moment. I think nobody really knows the answer. I think publishing ultimately is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's music on telly, adverts, films. If you can pull it off, then you're made. I think that's where the money is.
You've been together for a while now. What would you consider is the thing that's kept you together for so long, kept Mesh going?
Just have a laugh.
Ultimately, we're good friends, really. I mean, but we both enjoy doing this. You know what I mean? There have been a couple of times where we've actually had to sit down and reconsider. When Neil left the band, we thought, well, is that the end? And we kind of almost walked away from it, and then we thought, you know what? We still enjoy doing this, so why should that affect it? And we just carried on writing, and we just, as long as people like what we do and buy what we do, then we probably carry on,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's things like this make it fun to do as well. I mean, the recording's fun and the writing's fun. It's a bit stressful come album release time. It does take up literally all the time. We kind of work as well.
I was going to say, is it a full-time job for you, or do you have to fund yourself in another way?
We kind of took the decision. We did do it full-time for a while, sort of three years. But you've got an enormous amount of money coming in to be able to fund a normal lifestyle. I mean, you can live like a student forever if you want. You can do it.
Yeah.
But it means you've got a gig all of the time, and I think people just get sick of it. I think it's one of those things that you could do it, you could go out in a car and do a gig, but I think the quality of everything just goes down and down and down until you're just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
And then,
we both got families, we didn't want to be away from home. Even just doing a couple of weeks or 3 week stints are quite difficult for those back home, you know what I mean? So we just took the decision that we would kind of maybe work part-time or do whatever we do in our normal day, but then still have plenty of time to do this.
Get fine.
Excellent. Right, that's it. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
giving Ulterior Motives this interview. Is there out that you'd like to add?
It's a bit late now to get people to come to the shows. It finishes tomorrow.
Can you come tonight?
But no, just thanks to everybody who buys the records and supported us. So that's super. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Superb.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.